Hey guys, I recently did an EDC video, an update video, and I showed this Swiss Army knife. And this is a Tinker model, and I showed that it had the custom scale here with the engraved owl. And first off, let me just say that I was asked what I wanted on this scale, and I picked the owl to kind of match my Sebenza sheath. And it has some personal meaning to me. It reminds me of my grandfather who passed on, and he was really into both owls and ducks. So because I got the sheath made, I figured that would be a cool little design to go with for this scale. But anyway, the reason I'm making this video is to show how to take off the scales on your Swiss Army knives. Two reasons people want to see this. One is because they like to mix and match scales. Maybe you want to have a two different color or bi-color Swiss Army knife, which is kind of cool. I mean, you can do red and blue, black and red, red and yellow, whatever you want. Whatever scale colors you have, like I said, you can kind of mix and match them. The other reason you might want to take your scales off is to actually clean underneath. Now, I've also had many requests to do videos on how to clean these knives. You can't take these knives apart unless you break the rivets on them, and replacing them isn't too difficult, but for the average person, it's not going to be something you can do easily, especially if you don't have some basic tools. So what I suggest for cleaning is to just open up all the tools. I would actually suggest keeping the knife blades in until the end so you don't cut yourself. But take out all the other tools, get an old toothbrush, or if you only have one toothbrush you use, just go to the store, dollar store or something, buy a cheapo one, and you can use that to actually scrub the inside here. Just regular soap and water is fine. Just make sure you dry it out very well when you're done, so you don't have to worry about any rust or anything. But to get underneath the scales to clean is very easy, and changing the scales. So in this video, I'm actually going to be swapping this top scale out for the other scale that was made for me that says cutlerylover on it. Now originally I said I was going to wait to put this on a different knife, only because I thought this was a back scale because it didn't have the the insignia on here, the emblem. What I actually found out later from the person who gave it to me is that this is actually a front scale. As you can see here, it's the same as the front one. It's just this never had an emblem originally because this was a scale that was made for advertisement. It had just paint on it that had someone's logo for a company. So he actually sanded it down, got it nice and smooth, and then did my engraving for me, which you can see there. It says cutlerylover. So totally cool. But basically, I didn't know it was a front scale. So I'm going to use this for a demo in this video. So how to do this is super easy. You guys are going to go, oh, duh. I could have figured that out, but I'm going to show you anyway. This one here has the toothpick and tweezer combo on top. What you want to do is remove those, because this gives you a great advantage. Now you have these little nooks in here which you can work with. These scales are not glued on. You may think that they're epoxied on or bonded on somehow. Basically, there's 3 rivets on the inside here which keeps all the tools together in the knife. Now these scales are machined. If you look at this one, you can see those 3 round holes. The rivets fit into those holes very snugly. The holes are just big enough to fit over those rivets. And of course, there's your little slot for your tool. So you put your tool in there. It stays in that position right there. But anyway, so all these do is snap on and off. Super easy. All you need is a very small tool. You can get into that little nook. Today I'm going to be using a number 6 Torx driver, just because it's small and handy. If you don't have something very small, I'm sure you can find a paper clip somewhere, and you can use a bent paper clip to do this. Although something like this is stiffer and easier to use, because all we're doing here is we're going to slide this in a little bit and try to gently pry it up. Okay, we're just going to pop those off. So again, a paper clip might work, but it's a little bit soft. If you can use a very small micro screwdriver, that's probably most ideal. So I'm going to slip this, the tip of this into the hole here, and just kind of very delicately work it in a little bit. And you can see how far that went. It's about to here right now. And I'm just going to pry it up. Now I'm not going to pry so hard that I'm going to break it, and also be careful not to hold the scale down, because if you're trying to pry up but your grip is keeping it down, then you could snap off your scale, and that won't be good. So what you want to do is kind of hold the side of it here and just kind of work it up. You can see I popped the end off. There you go. I mean, how easy is that? So now if I wanted to, I can clean this, but obviously you can see this one's pretty darn clean, sparkling clean actually. But now you can see that you have your 3 rivets and then a little pin here, which is actually part of your back spacer, which keeps these back tools in. But anyway, that's how you get the scale off. I mean, I could do the other side as well. I don't have to for this demo, but I'll just show you. There's the back scale. So there's your Swiss Army knife without the scales. Pretty neat, huh? Of course, you have all your little tools and basically these thin little, these metal plates here for your actual, the body of the knife. Now, I've seen videos on a tour at Victorinox, the factory, and all they do is they have this little machine, and they have all these parts set up, and they just stack them on each other. In other words, they'll get a plate, and then they would get the tool, then another plate, then another tool, and so forth. Stack them on this machine, and then it clamps down and pins these in to keep everything together. And then by hand, someone else puts these scales on. So anyway, let's pop that back scale on. You can see it's very distinctive. This cutout here is for your screwdriver in this Tinker model. But of course, it would also be for your corkscrew. Had a little brain fart there, couldn't think of it. But anyway, to put these back on, you're literally just lining them up and pushing down. Sometimes it'll be a nice, soft, gentle push, and you can kind of feel it get snug, and sometimes they kind of snap on. But anyway, I'm going to actually swap this out and put this new scale on the front. So again, just line up the holes here. You can see that's backwards, so line up the holes to the little rivets and pop it on. You can kind of hear that one snapped on. So there we go. It's nice and snug. If you have a little bit of gap in between, I mean, hold it up to the light, sunlight out your window, or up to a light or lamp inside your home. And if you see there's a little bit of crease there of light coming through, just keep pushing on it, until it's nice and snug. And there you go. It's not going to fall off with use. It's hard to grip the side of the scale. So, like I said, I mean, they only stay on here with the pressure of those little round holes fitting over those rivets. So there it is, and you can put your tools back in. Make sure your tools go in the right spot because they're slanted to match the scales. And there you go. You're all done. So now I got my new black and red combo Tinker with a very cool front scale that says cutlerylover on it. So pretty easy, guys. Now you know how to do it. You can play around. Like I said, you can get all different kinds of color combinations. You could take these off, and I've seen a lot of people make them out of wood. All you would do is get a nice little thin piece of wood if you're good with woodworking, or if you're younger, maybe your father or grandfather or uncle, whoever, can maybe make you one. And all you really need to do is have, the thickness doesn't matter too much. You have to have the right dimension. I would put this over a wood blank and trace it out so you have the right shape. And then, of course, it's very critical that you place these holes in the proper spots. And the holes, again, have to be just big enough that they're going to be snug over those rivets. And you'll be fine. You can make some really cool wood scales. So there you go. That's how to change the scales on a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely appreciate you watching and maybe learning something new. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.